What's up guys, this is Riley from Hodson Motors. Today we're showing you guys all the behind the scenes of building our 1984 Chevy Suburban. We're going to give away this truck very soon, but come along with us as we take it to paint, as we disassemble and reassemble it, as we do all the fun stuff that we're going to do to this truck. Come along and see how it all went together. We're going to show you all the goodies and have a lot of good fun in this long video. We're giving away this truck here very soon. It's going to be exciting, so stay tuned afterwards and we'll make another video later of it all ready and done and do a full walk around of it. If you want to see the way the truck looked before, check out another video to see our before we did any work to it, all full of flames and everything like that. So first things first, we got to get this baby loaded up and ready to go to paint. All right, we are tow trucking. The Suburban is done at paint, painted in a desert sand metallic. Looks rad. Going down to pick it up, put it on the tow truck, and haul it back to the shop. Just a disclaimer, we don't have our painter buff the paint. He doesn't cut and buff it when he's done, because we're gonna go put a couple months of work on the truck, and to buff it is kind of a waste, because you know we're inevitably gonna put a couple of little chips and scratches and here and there, and there's gonna be little things he needs to touch up later, so rather we just take it, do everything we can, try and do as clean a job as we can, try not to scratch it. When we're done, bring it back to him and he can do any little touch-ups and then buff it all at the end and make it look perfect. So that's what we're doing. Trim day, got all of our trim out for the Suburban, and we are scuffing it up with a red Scotch-Brite pad, cleaning it with denatured alcohol, and then we're gonna take it outside and spray it with our SEM trim black. Suburban's back. She's inside, looking great. We've started to wet sand on her, and then we were gonna just sand and buff, and so we started buffing here by the door handles. We put everything on, but thought, you know what? This truck's gonna be so freaking cool when it's done that we decided we're going to sand the entire truck up to 3000 grit, compound and polish it, and make it look freaking amazing. The paint job looks great. It's really good. The only thing that sucks is the painters, you know, while they're rolling it in and out, didn't take the tape off the glass, and so we've got tape all over our weather stripping, which sucks. I didn't want to replace the weather stripping, so we're gonna try and pull it all off without ruining the weather stripping, but if it gets ruined, we'll just have to replace it. So it is what it is. Paint job is good, coverage is good, and color is freaking rad. Nice and metallic. It's like a really light metallic color, pretty cool. Like you can't really tell it's metallic, but it's nice. Got all of our trim for the Suburban up underneath our little makeshift paint booth here. These actually work great for hanging stuff, so great for trim. We got all of our grill trim, our windshield wipers, our window trim, our tail lights, our mirrors, our headlight buckets, everything. So we're gonna get to spraying under this bad boy. We're using SEM trim black. This is by far the best spray paint I've ever used, ever. It's like self-leveling and it lays out so stinking flat, looks like powder coat. It's super cool. So we're gonna use this and spray it all down. We're all done, all wrapped up. Look at how nice that freaking SEM cleans up. Looks so good. Just so freaking like levels out so nice. You can't see any of the spray pattern. These door handles just look insane. Like I said, it looks just as good as powder coat, but you can do it in your backyard. It's a great paint and it levels out so nice. It just takes an extra couple of coats.
Doing a little bit of door panel cleanup today. Just a little bit of love goes a long way.
What are you doing, sir?
Just making this thing look good again.
Are you polishing? Or sanding? You're wet sanding. What are you sanding with?
Right now I have 1,000 on actually.
1000 grit to do the hood? All right, sand away.
It's pretty rough, so needs some looking.
Do your thing. All right, Sterling's almost done with wet sanding. She looks amazing. No more orange peel, so that's looking great. And then I am working on designing up a little roof rack here. Go all the way along that roof. Pro 6 KC roof rack right on top. It's gonna look really nice. Take you outside so I can show you what we're basing off of. Just doing some rough drawing and then we'll cut it out of some board, but it's gonna look really sweet. Also, got our new grill all blacked out. Headlight bezels are done, so all of our black trim is done. This isn't gonna go on for a while, but it's nice that it's just finished, so that's good too. So here's what we're basing the roof rack of the Suburban off of. It's the roof rack off of our Wagoneer. So we're doing something really similar to this, but just bigger, obviously, to fit the Suburban, but it's gonna look rad. Here's how we're doing this. I went and got some cork board or whatever kind of board you call this, little particle board from Home Depot. It's a little 1/8 inch thick. Cutting templates here. put up in sections on the roof rack. This is gonna be one of the more complicated sections, so I figured I'd do it in a short piece. Fits pretty decent. This is where the light bar will hang off of, but I got it a little too short here. It needs to be 4 inches, 5 1/4, and I'm like 5 3.5. So gonna make one more template to make that a little bigger. So we're just tracing it, make a new template here. And then we can move on to the center section from like there to the center, and then one full back half sheet. Should turn out pretty freaking cool. We got the meats. Looks so good. Check those out. Look freaking amazing. 37-inch Patagonia XTs, 17-inch XT Panzers. Very nice. All right, guys, we've got about a week down in work on the Suburban since we got it back from paint. Give you a quick recap of all the things that we've done. Got it back from paint. Truck looks great, paint job is awesome, but we had our painter not go ahead and polish the paint job, had him leave it just scuffed, so we can work on it, and if we chip it up or scratch it up, it's not the end of the world. We could do final touches at the very end. This way we're not having to worry so much about the finish of the paint job. However, we got it back from him. They sand it with 1000 grit, and we're gonna polish it, but they just left it after 1000 grit. We went in with 1500 on top of that and got all the orange peel out. We're gonna go at it one more time with 3000 grit and just make it super, super, super smooth before we polish on it, so this paint job is just gonna look so, so, so nice when we're done. We did wheels and tires on it. We ripped apart the entirety of the interior, got all the trim out, got the carpet out, got the seats out, the old seat belts out. The interior's blown apart. We have made the template for our roof rack. We're ready to send that off to Baseline Overland. They're gonna build the roof rack for us. We've painted up all of our trim for the exterior door handles, our mirrors, our headlight trim, all that kind of stuff, painted that stuff all up nice satin black as well. That looks great. We've already started restoring our door panels, cleaning them up. We've SEM painted those with SEM trim coat. They look awesome. We cleaned up all of the upholstery on those as well. They look brand new, so those are looking great. So it's about a week of work into it, and we're gonna keep going on it. So just stay tuned. All right, in here we've got our upholstery all ripped out. Carpet is all gone. Most of our trim is out. Our headliner's out. It's over at Ian's Auto getting remade. Dash is out. We got a little bit of work to do up here. We're getting rid of this old transmission controller for the 4L80. And we got to patch that hole in the floor, which was done pretty crappily before. Clean up all that wiring for those gauges as well. Tuck those up, loom those up nice and neat. And so we've got a lot of work to do under here. So today is TCU day. We're on this TCI Automotive Easy TCU. These are great, work pretty seamlessly. Just a couple wires put in. Controller 4L80, let me show you what's in there now. What's actually in there now is an old version of this. It is a mess. So this is like the Gen 1 TCI Easy TCU thing that they had going on, and it's just an absolute mess. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. Inside this bad boy, we got TCU itself. This is the controller plug-in, which also has Bluetooth. Pretty nice. And then all of our freaking wiring, that's gonna go down there. Extra connectors and some instructions. Stirring's just laying some carpet. All right, we have got some carpet land. We decided, partly because carpet was out of stock in gray, we thought it might look nice too, and I think it does look pretty cool to have our black carpet, and then when it hits the sides, it goes up to gray carpet, because the gray carpet will look, it'll look nice with the seats and everything, and then everything from like the fender wells down will all be black, so that looks nice. We also got over here all of our wiring mess going down with our transmission controller. Got the old tranny controller out, putting in the new tranny controller, rewiring those 3 gauges, that's boost, EGT, and tranny temperature down there. So we're rewiring those bottom gauges down there. We'll get everything in, it's gonna look real nice. Look at how good this all looking. Sterling, let me see those bad boys. Woo. They shined up nice.
See your reflection.
Carpet looking so good. Seats in. Look at this crap. Tucked in all nice. Oh, looking amazing. All right, freaking blasted this thing down. It was so greasy, you couldn't even touch a wire without your hands turning black. Sterling blasted that down today, and now he's in here pulling out gauges so we can rewire and clean up a bunch of this crap. But man, it's gonna look so nice. Carpet looks so good, seats look so good, so it's gonna be great. And then we can just keep churning and burning. We're on to wiring, getting this freaking engine bay ripped apart. Timmy's doing great in here. We're gonna take out all these accessories, take off all of our belt drives soon. We're gonna get rid of all this nasty stuff, freaking starter solenoids galore, and get rid of the old voltage regulator, because we're gonna go to our super nice CVF racing kit. So this is an all-inclusive serpentine kit, super nice. Put this bad boy on and it's gonna look amazing. Working on wiring under the dash today, getting rid of a lot of rat's nest, shortened up a lot of stuff. We'll be moving on to all this rat's nest here soon. And we'll work on our radio wiring too. We've already cleaned up and tied up like these little sub gauges, and then cleaned up and tied up A lot of this other crap, it just needs to be loomed and or at least just zip tied together before we can call it done. But she's looking pretty good in there. This is all we've ripped out from behind the dash under the carpet. A lot of freaking junk wiring. Totally unnecessary. Let me take a minute to rant here on the GoPro. Don't do the freaking whole, let me just take my wiring. I buy something, I buy a trailer brake controller or something, and they send you with 18 feet of wire. And I'm just gonna take all that 18 feet and just wrap it up under the dash and zip tie it together. Wrap it this way, cross over. Hey, guys, don't do that. Like, just freaking snip it, shorten it up, butt connect it back together. You don't have to be crazy. You don't gotta go and like de-pin your connectors and like shorten it at the connector so that it looks, we get it. We're all garage heroes. We're all just doing the best we can, but please, for heaven's sakes, quit just wrapping stuff up. It is such a nightmare, and you end up with a nasty mess like that crap. Like, is the worst. Please just stop. Just buck, it takes like 2 minutes. Just snip it, butt connector it, done. Over. Rant done. That's all I wanted to say.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh man, this thing's coming along. But here we've got all of our wiring running down through the floor, and it's connected to the transmission. The wiring that we do have coming up front here, it's gonna tuck under the carpet really nice. And then we're still just cleaning up this rat's nest. It's looking pretty good. Once we kind of get everything else up in here, we can zip tie it in here, and it's gonna look pretty nice. This rat's nest though is gonna require a little bit more work, and that's okay. It's coming along, and we should be able to lay carpet here in a couple days. I'm excited. It's looking good.
Let it get tacky.
Glue it. All right, we've got all our goodies from Retro Manufacturing, Retro Sound. Got a bunch of new seat belts that we're putting in when we're done with carpet. Our radio, our speakers, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm gonna start putting in the speakers today and show you guys what that's like. Getting our wires up out of the way for our TCU. All right, we're working on our rear panel speakers here. These are 4x10, so we're gonna get rid of those bad old, they're all old and nasty and probably from the 80s or 90s. We're putting some nice, fresh 4x10 speakers from Retro Sound. These are gonna sound much better back here. That's what she looks like, nice and black. That's why I like these versus like a kicker, a bright blue speaker. On a classic, it looks nice to just have, just a nice black speaker, really understated, and will still sound really good. So put these back together and call it good. We got our lower door cards all done. Our 5 1/4 from Retro Sound there. They look great. Nice and factory sucked in there good and tight. Sterling's mounting the TCU up. We'll put our seat back down afterwards. Got our seat belts from Retro Belt in, our retractor belts, so those are nice. And then we'll do our dash next. This interior's coming together. The hood, we're almost done with our CVF Racing Serpentine kit. Got to get a little bit of a bigger belt there, but that makes the front end of these Cummins look shmoney. So that's almost done as well. We're working on the wiring up in here, getting this thing looking nice. We have our radio all done. So we used a Retro Sound DIN repair kit. The dash was cut on this truck, but it's in good shape, and the dash bezel was in good shape as well. So we figured, well, let's use a DIN repair kit and save it all and make it look nice, put a faceplate over it. So that's in, it's wired in. We've got our 5 1/4 speakers in the doors. We've got some little tweeters, not from Retro, but just some little tweeters up there on the dash. We have some Retro 6x9s back there, and then an old sub. Got an old sub back there, 12-inch kicker subwoofer. Looks like it's straight out of the 90s, but it sounds incredible. So all wired up, wired to an amp, and freaking absolutely bumps. So check this crap out. Yeah. For a big freaking truck, I mean, with a lot of space, it absolutely bumps. It sounds wicked good in here. So I'm super excited on how it sounds. I think the winner of this truck is gonna bump some music all the time, and when they don't want to listen to music, they can listen to that sweet Cummins singing. So super stoked on the radio. All right, we're on to the engine bay, making great progress. Got our radiator back in, our new condenser up front. CVF kit's all finished up, all wrapped up nice here. Looks great. Got to put a few more of the little beauty pieces on. We've got our W wire coming out of our alternator here. This is for our tachometer, and we are working on AC now. So here we have our factory AC box. We got a new blower motor in there, new dryer, new relay, and new resistor for the AC. Working on these headlights, leaving our little plastic film on them, but they're gonna look freaking cool and super bright. But we got new hardware for the adjusters, and then we painted all of these bad boys nice and satin black. They look rad. I'm gonna pull these plastics off. They're gonna look super nice.
In our new Bilsteins. Well,
Working on wiring, getting all that crap ripped out. And then we've got our loom with all of our other crap, just super nice and tight and tidy. All the way down there, just really tidy. Wiring's all done over there, looks great. Working on this over here, so we got all the junk cleaned up, and these are all we're running. All this wiring is gonna run down here where we're gonna put our fuse panel right there. Fuse panel's gonna go right there, and then we will zip tie all of our old loom back together, and it's gonna look amazing. All right, we got our fuse panel in. Just gotta loom it up. She's looking freaking good. Heavy 10 gauge, running the battery. And I think we are ready to rock and roll. So once we get this bad boy loomed up, we'll pull all these wires up against the firewall, tie them up nice. It's gonna look really good in here. Compared to the way this truck came out when we first bought it, I mean, there's like a quarter of the wiring in here than there was when we first bought this thing. So it's looking pretty good. Got our thick wire connected to 2 batteries around there. Got to do our AC lines tomorrow. We're working on our power steps here. This is a bit of a bear, but it's not that hard once you figure it out. So the way these work is you have a computer, and your computer sees a ground whenever any of the doors open, and then tells that side to drop the step. Issue that classic trucks have is that they might have a factory door switch. Don't mind this gunk that we have sprayed in there. We got to touch that up. But they have a door switch, and they have one here, there, and all 4 doors. And they all go up to the dome light. But then once they go up to the dome light, it passes current through the dome and into the other doors as well. So what you have to do is you have to wire in some diodes. So there's a diode there, and a diode there, and a diode on the back doors as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop the current when you open this door. It's going to go up to the dome light, but then the current's going to stop at that connector, and it's not going to flow down into the other door, causing that door, or causing the computer in the engine bay to think that door is open, if that makes sense. That's what's going on. When one door opens, the computer thinks all 4 doors open, because the current travels up and then into all the wires at the dome light and disperses. So you got to wire in diodes. And the other thing you got to make sure is that this wiring is correct. All 4 of the trigger wires in this truck were wired together when we bought it. So now it's fixed. Now only this side goes up and down. The other side doesn't go up and down with it. So works great. All right, our dash pad's in. It looks great. Dash pad, all brand new stuff. So new dash pad, new vents, new trim, new hardware. Still got to tackle that mess right there. Ooh. It's a lot of crap, but it's looking better in here. Next, we got to do our roof rack. After our roof rack goes on, we can put our headliner in. But look how clean that roof is. Not a speck of rust. Sterling's looming up over there, looking good. And I got my AC lines going. They're done. Super nice. Remember, if you're building Chevy stuff, that's an 8, that's a 12, but then it goes to a 10, and the 8 goes to a 6. So don't screw yourself like I screwed me. Time to put in this big boy, coolant reservoir. What you doing there, Stir?
Oh, just making these look shiny.
Oh, polishing up them valve covers. But Stir, what are you using to polish them with?
Oh, angle grinder.
Just a little grinder? We forgot our polisher at home today, huh?
Yeah, polisher's at home.
Engine bay is almost done. Got our coolant reservoir, radiator, our new hoses on our radiator. We're polishing up these bad boys because they're super shiny now, but polishing up all the other ones. Just got to put our air filter on, but there we've got all our new AC components. We've got our PSC assisted power steering over there, and then there's all our wiring. Super nice and clean, nicely done. And our CVF racing kit here on the front trims up that Cummins nicely, and we're just looking so good. All right, Suburban is coming along so well. Here's our updated engine bay, looking so nice. Before this thing can go to paint, we have a list of things to do after paint, but we're gonna send this bad boy back to paint, get touched up. And so before we go to paint, we got 3 things left. So one of these is to wire up our light bar. We're gonna wire it up before it goes to paint. And then we'll do our roof rack tomorrow and charger AC, whenever. But let's start working on this here light bar. We've got ourselves a beautiful KC Pro 6 LED light bar. These are the baddest light bars and freaking expensive. But this is the light bar that's going on the front end of our roof rack. So let's pop this bad boy open and see what she's like. Here you can see the bar. Freaking wicked cool. I'll leave the covers on for now, but there you can see that the bar is 8 of these big 6-inch lights all interconnected. They swivel. They're freaking rad. So we're gonna wire this bad boy up. And then we'll put our roof rack on tomorrow and put this thing up and see what she looks like. It's gonna be cool. So I gotta get this bad boy up and out the roof. And this truck had a visor before, and they were running the wires out of that prong there. Don't mind our freaking tape still stuck to our weather stripping here. The painters are gonna fix that. They screwed that up. But still, they ran all the wires through that hole, and rather than being dumb and making a new hole, I'm just gonna use that existing hole and run the wires up through there. Not a big deal. But with that being said, this is way too big to fit through that hole, and we're gonna just have to snip this, run our wires through, re-butt connect it later. To make it a little easier on myself, here I have the female end of the connector that connects to the light bar that's coming out of our roof up there. I am going to, I cut this, strip the wire, some of the wire back out of the loom, and I'm gonna extend these to make these a little easier to push through the roof, and that way I can just connect them later and trim out any extra they might have. It is roof rack day, and that is a humongous 10-foot roof rack. Baseline built this for us. We did the design, and they cut it out, and it's pretty freaking rad, and it's gonna go together really nice extruded aluminum crossbars. The thing's just freaking cool, and I'm super pumped about it. So putting it together. However, UPS lost our brackets to mount it to the roof, so we're gonna build up some brackets today and just call it good. But the thing's freaking cool, and it's coming together, and it's gonna be super nice, and then we'll put our KC light bar up there. Making our friggin' brackets here, we got the machete, my mother's lucky machete.
It was her lucky machete.
From TMR Customs. I love this little thing, perfect for making little brackets. So, it goes in your vise. Okay, we're gonna go at 70 degrees. 70-degree bracket. Boom, just like that. Shmoney. All right, let me show you how we've got a roof rack mounted up there. So we've got rib nuts here on the roof, down in all of our spots where we're putting them in. And then on the inside here of the cab, you'll see, oh, we need some light, but we put a washer up underneath it so that it had more to grab onto the roof with. So it wasn't just the rib nut pulling through the roof. So we got some bigger fender washers up underneath there. So now we get a roof rack back up and put it down one more time before we send this baby back off to paint for some touch-up work. But she's up, she's looking good. Roof rack can go up again, and then we'll drill the hole for our light bar. We've got all of our wiring for our light bar here. So this will run up through the roof and look great. All right, we have the tow truck. We're driving it. We've got the Suburban on the back there. Let me tell you, this guy is heavy. It's a big freaking truck, dude. I mean, our tow truck's a big 550, and I've hauled a lot of heavy stuff, but the Suburban's up there. It is big 1-ton axles, big Cummins, big 480, just a big freaking truck, big on 37. So, yeah, you can tell that, you know, I don't want to go do freeway speeds with this thing because it's big. But even still, everything that we needed to do before going to paint is done. Roof rack is done. Just, it's looking great, and we're pumped. So, time to go back to paint. Jorge's going to touch up any little scratches or any little imperfections that we put onto the truck during assembly so far. And then he will polish it up one time for us. We'll probably continue polishing on it when we get it back. You know how that goes at a paint shop. You know, they might wet sand it one time and polish it up one time real quick. But we want to make this paint job just look super, super nice and then ceramic coat afterwards. So we'll probably keep going on the paint when we get back from it. But still, go back to him. He can touch it up, hit some areas that he might have had a little bit of too light a coverage on as well. And then we'll get it back from him probably in about a week and keep working on it. So I'm pumped. She's here. Big and beautiful. She's back. All right, Suburban is back home. Now we are gonna start working on putting the headliner up and putting in all our trim and get this baby looking good. The paint looks great now, all polished up. So yeah, now it's time for headliners. Big old 2-piece headliner. This thing's massive because the truck is like, the cabin, this thing's like 10 feet long. So big old headliner. But so that's gonna go in today. We'll start working on putting in all our trim. This thing's gonna start looking like a new truck here. Headliner day. Dang, my light's bright. All right, all of our trim is going on. Getting our rear doors all put together, headliners in, all of our interior trim is in as well, so it's looking great. Working on mirrors, getting our tail lights put on, make this thing look nice. Got our black mirrors on. Didn't paint enough on this one, so we're gonna have to touch that up here, but it's looking good. Marker lights are in. We'll get going on our grill here soon too. It's looking great. All glossy too, the paint looks rad. Cleaning up. Got our grill on. That looks so good.
Looks like a truck, right?
It does look like a truck, I love it. Stoked about the grill. Stoked about the paint match too. New emblem, new grill, new paint match. It's looking nice. And now that the rear is done, we've got our back seat back here. So we've got ourselves a whole Suburban. You could fit the whole family of 12. I mean, really 7, but 12. Back seats in. We're coming along. We've got our dome lights are up. We got to get new, what are they called? New lenses for our dome lights, but looking great. Roof rack, baby. Look at that thing, dude. Jeez. The amount of time that went into this stinking roof rack, dude. I love it. I just love it. Yeah. Strange clean visors. Clean in there. Long. All right, guys, we've come to maybe the most frustrating part of the build, which is these damn door handles. Excuse my language. These things are a bear to get on. So they have so many components and roll pins and everything, but after 6 hours, we have gotten 2 done, and we feel like we are professionals. 2 in 6 hours. So we're getting it though, but we figured out the tricks. So freaking sucks. All right, so we're getting our trim put up above our doors. Isaiah's working on the big one that goes along the back door. These little boys are quite a bit of a bear, as they have little freaking 1/4-inch screws that are hidden down in there. They're too deep to reach with a regular screwdriver, so you have to use a 1/4-inch end wrench to put them in. They really suck, but they look cool. So she's coming along. She's looking real good. Putting in our gauges now, and Isaiah's working on the door panels, fighting it.
It's working on me.
It's working on him. Whoever designed square body Chevys, they said, let's make everything a process. Everything, not just like, oh, you just put the door panel on. There has to be a billion steps involved in everything we do. Like order of operations. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, that's all we're gonna show you on the Suburban for now. You're gonna have to wait and see the final product in our build walk around video that we do when we launch the Suburban giveaway. We are just a few more days away from being able to launch the giveaway, so enjoy this for now, but that's it. I'm not gonna show you anything else. To see the finished product, you gotta watch that last video. Make sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube so that you know when it comes out. Check us out at hodsonmotors.com and on our Instagram, as I'm always posting there as well with more updates, and you'll see right when the giveaway goes live. If you're watching this video, just a quick snippet for you, and you want to get in on the giveaway, the best day to get in on this giveaway is going to be the first day of the Suburban giveaway. We're going to be doing something before we start doing any advertising. We're going to do a cash in every order just for that first day of the giveaway, and one lucky person is going to go home with $500 in cash. So we're going to do this cool little bonus just for the very first day of the giveaway, before we start doing any advertising. So it's for you guys, our real fans who have been waiting around patiently waiting for this giveaway. That very first day of the giveaway, somebody's gonna get up to $500 in cash, but every order is gonna get cash in their order, whether it be $1, $5, 20 bucks, or all the way up to $500. So make sure that you're getting in and you're getting excited for that. But just remember, the very first day of the giveaway, we will be launching that cash in every single order. So stay tuned, and we will launch the giveaway date soon. We'll announce when it's gonna start and when it's gonna end very soon. Make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.